Hey there, welcome to Thesis in 3 weeks, day 13. You're doing great, keep going. So today, we're going to start by reading through your results section again. This is the result of your research. Enjoy it. Think about what you found and what you've learned, and make little edits as needed. One thing we haven't done yet is spell check, and there's no reason to keep doing that every 5 minutes. We'll start doing that in a couple more days. But just read through your results section and make sure that everything's where it needs to be. And then you're going to outline the introduction, the literature review section, and the discussion section of your paper or your final chapter. So you're going to outline those today. You already put in some placeholders before, but now that you know the results of your research, now you know what you are going to introduce, and you'll have a better idea of anything you might need to tweak in the review of literature, i.e. research that's been done previously. So you've also identified in your notes file what resource material you have to cite in each of these sections. So as you're basically, you can go to your notes file and sort that table by where you intend to use the article or the articles or resources, and then look just at the intro or the background and say, okay, here's what I have for my introduction and my background. And you're just going to put in the basic outline. Where you need subheadings, insert them. You might not, but generally speaking, you will start this section with some background information, and that will include overviews, position papers, editorials, textbooks, and then at some point you will identify the scope of the problem. And so this is it a large problem affecting a small number of people, a small problem affecting a large number of people, whatever that is. So those are surveys and qualitative studies and epidemiological studies. And then if this is a scientific paper, the anatomy, physiology, pathophysiology. So textbooks and overview articles are useful for that. So make sure that you're in your introduction section, you're making an outline that's going to follow a flow. And if you need to look at examples of other articles in your discipline. Are there known or possible treatments? But all this should lead to a research question and why it is important. And so, what could your findings mean? And so when you're looking at that section, some of your editorials and position papers would be really useful. And the whole introduction leads up to that the purpose of this research is to blankety blank, whatever your purpose is. So you want to just outline that today and put little pieces in there that you can fill out in the coming days. Next, literature review, same thing. What have other authors found in the topic? What are the major themes that emerged, interventions that were studied? Where is there a gap that your research fills? And for the discussion section of your paper, or your, and again, it might be called something different in your discipline. You want to summarize your key findings, indicate what your study adds, what the implications are, what relevance that there is. Sometimes we say future research should look at something, but if your study doesn't want to recommend future research, you might say this is how this information could be used in practice. Limitations should be short and sweet. You don't want to put an entire page of limitations of your research, but there should be some information that you acknowledge there is always a limitation. Just a one sentence or two, and don't beat yourself up. And then again, something to conclude to end. So when we're looking at that, just put in those little placeholders, and then update your table of contents and update your reference list as needed if you've pulled references in. So a lot of this is just shaping today, really big picture thinking, getting your ideas down. You're laying the framework for the writing that you're going to do in the coming days. So you've got some shape to your manuscript. Hopefully you're starting to see how this is going to turn out. And I hope that you're really proud of yourself at the end of the day. Tomorrow is going to be the end of your second week. So we'll see you tomorrow.